We welcome you back to ESPN's continuing live coverage of the 65th edition of the Denny's U.S. Open. Norm Duke in match one with a 55-pin lead over Doug Kent. The scoring has been challenging all week. Why? Here's Randy Peterson to tell you why.
One of the things that makes the U.S. Open such a unique event is the demanding lane conditions. In fact, this is the toughest oil pattern we'll bowl on all year long. Let me show you why. Now, in a typical house pattern, the outside part of the lane is dry, the middle part of the lane is very slick. So what happens is shots that are wide of target recover and get back to the pocket. If you miss your target to the middle part of the lane, there's enough oil there to have the ball hold its line and still get to the pocket. But here at the U.S. Open, we use a special 40-foot flat pattern. The lane is oiled equally side to side. What ends up happening is the lane turns into what's called a reverse block, where the middle part of the lane is drier than the outside part of the lane. Now shots that are wide of target never recover, and if you miss your target to the inside part of the lane, well, it's usually through the nose or Brooklyn. This is truly a shot maker's condition. Remember, if you want to be a U.S. Open champion, precision is the name of the game.
Thank you, Randy. And a look at our Lumber Liquidators average by round, and they increased for a number of reasons. Number one, you got the amateurs out of the way as well.
Yeah, and again, you look at the fact that Walter Ray is leading the tour in average at 228, and this week, and if you average 200, that was pretty good. So, you know, I like to look at it as the U.S. Open golf, where it takes, you know, +1, +2, +3 to win that event. This week, the rough is up.
The rough is up, it's windy, and there's brutal pin placements. That's your analogy.
Right now, Doug Kent in a world of trouble because his opponent has thrown an unlikely 5-bagger. Right now, Doug still searching for his first double.
All three frames in the right lane for Kent have been 10 spares. As we take a look at our edition of Atonic Edge this week.
The reason why Doug Kent won Player of the Year honors last season is because he changed his timing. He got the ball into the swing earlier, which got his feet moving faster and got him to arrive at the foul line in a much better, more stable position. I think that Doug's best asset in his bowling game is the fact that he's able to wait on his swing. Never gets into a hurry or a rush to throw it.
And he was telling us yesterday he feels as good as he's really ever felt his entire life. No aches, no pains outside of his brain. But he was claiming some things, you know, things that working. And things are not exactly working his way right now. Down 56.
Shot but one.
You know, when we interviewed the players last night, Norm looked physically whooped. Mika looked destroyed. But Doug and Chris Loshetter actually looked reasonably fresh.
And we interviewed the players very late last night. Did not get done till around the 10 o'clock hour. It was a long day of bowling. You know, Norm is showing us his right thumb and just saying, it's just pus, man. It's just pus. You know, I'm hanging in there. I'm a train wreck. He looked frazzled. I'm making up words. That's how bad he looks. There's Duke in the 8th. Yeah, rather picks up the spare in the 7th.
Back in the day when your thumb looked like Norm's, they used to tell you to stick it in a potato. Something about you know, you whittle a hole in the potato and then you jam that potato on your thumb, and I guess there was something about the juice in the potato or something would help shrink or take the swelling out of the thumb. I tried that a couple times and it never worked for me. So I don't know if Norm was out last night shopping for potatoes or not, but he said his thumb was killing him.
We'll have to talk to somebody on the Food Network about that.
Just wait a little longer on the Duke, please.
Little premature Duke from the fans there, and
well, at least he didn't chew him out a la Tiger did a couple days ago. Love seeing that smile on Norm.
When you have a 54-pin lead, this is okay right here. because Norm's just looking at another 9 spare.
Oh, Norman.
That may not hurt him in this match.
Just lack of concentration there. Doug Kent can strike out and shoot 214. Norm is in the 220s if he marks out 9th and 10th.
So time to make up some ground if you're Doug Kent.
Norm forever fidgeting with that thumb hole. Boy, I've never seen anybody change tape. Move that piece of cork around that thumb hole like Norm does.
Missed the head pin.
And there's that shot we talked about wide of target where it will never recover from that spot. And here at the U.S. Open, when you do miss, you pay the price. Instead of getting 8 or 9, something, an easy spare, you leave a washout.
Great pickup! Great pickup.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's probably a little too late for Doug. Now his best is 200 on the nose if he strikes out, but a great conversion here, getting the head pin slide over into the 10.
He said to us last night, give me a 220 on Sunday, and I'll sit on the bench and watch and see if somebody can beat that.
A lot of 9s for Doug this game. Right now, Norm looking as though he will move on.
Awful lot of shots in the pocket for 2 strikes.
10 pin, 10 pin, 10 pin, 4 pin.
Sixth strike of this match for Duke, and that'll put a wrap on this one. So Storm and Norman will move on to take on the 2 seed, Chris Loschetter.
Has not missed the pocket. 3 10 pins, the rest strikes. Pretty impressive. And Norm makes the lanes look like they're easy. Doug's struggling to shoot 180. Pretty impressive.
Duke won here in 1994, the Brunswick Johnny Petraglia Open. Back both. That's the first poor shot we've seen today from Duke, but it's not going to hurt him. Norm about to go 3-0 on television this season. Those first 2 wins coming at the Denny's World Championship.
You think of all the games that were bowled this week, 488 competitors started. We only had 2 300 games for the entire tournament. One by Tommy Jones in the 3rd round, another by Nathan Bohr in the 4th round.
Well below the 4.81 average per tournament of 300 games.
This is painful.
That's a great week, though, for Doug. At least now he can finish the season off on a high note.
All right.
Well, Doug still has one more event to go. He'll be in the Motel 6 Roll to Riches.
Challenge is over, but I'll give it my best here.
Coming up in Orlando. How about it?
Oh.
Game effort, but not the best of games for Doug Kent. 234 to 160. Time now for our CLR clean sweep. Norm Duton in the 6th, making it 5 strikes in a row. Up next, we get set for match number 2 and give you our top 5 stories from the season in the PBA.